Mattithyahu, Matthew chapter 21. And when they came near to Jerusalem and came to Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, then Yahushua sent 2 Talmidim, saying to them, Go into the village opposite you, and straightway you shall find a donkey tied, and a colt with her. Loosen and bring them to me. And if anyone says whatever to you, you shall say, The Adon needs them, and immediately he shall send them. And all this took place that it might be filled what was spoken by the Nevi, saying, Say to the daughter of Zion, See, your sovereign is coming to you, meek, and sitting on a donkey, even a colt, the foal of a donkey. And the Talmidim went, and having done as Yahusha ordered them, they brought the donkey and the colt, and laid their garments on them, and he sat on them. And most of the crowd spread their garments on the way, while others cut down branches from the trees and spread them on the way. And the crowds who went before and those who followed cried out, saying, Hoshia-na to the Bane of David, Baruch is he who is coming in the name of Yahuah. Hoshia-na in the highest. And as he entered into Jerusalem, all the city was stirred, saying, Who is this? And the crowd said, This is Yahusha, the Nevi from Nazareth of Galilee. And Yahushua went into the Mikdash of Elohim, and drove out all those buying and selling in the Mikdash, and overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. And he said to them, It has been written, My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers. And blind and lame ones came to him in the Mikdash, and he healed them. But when the chief Kohanim and scribes saw the wonders which he did, and the children crying out in the Mikdash and saying, Hoshia-na to the Bane of David, they were greatly displeased, and said to him, Do you hear what these say? And Yahushua said to them, Yes, have you never read? Out of the mouth of children and nurslings you have perfected praise. And having left them, he went out of the city to Bethania, and spent the night there. And returning to the city early in the morning, he became hungry. And seeing a single fig tree by the way, he came to it, and found naught on it but leaves, and said to it, Let no fruit grow on you ever again. And immediately the fig tree withered. And the Talmidim, seeing it, marveled, saying, How did the fig tree wither so soon? And Yahushua answering said to them, Truly I say to you, if you have belief and do not doubt, you shall not only do what was done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, Be removed, and be thrown into the sea, it shall be done. And whatever you ask in prayer, believing, you shall receive. And when he had come into the Mikdash, the chief Kohanim and the elders of the city came to him as he was teaching, and said, By what authority are you doing these? And who gave you this authority? And Yahushua answering said to them, I shall ask you one question too, which if you answer me, I also shall say to you by what authority I do these. The immersion of Yochanan, where did it come from? From the Shemaim or from men? So they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we say from the Shemaim, he shall say to us, Then why did you not believe him? But if we say from men, we fear the crowd, for all hold Yochanan as a Nevi. And they answered Yahushua and said, We do not know. And he said to them, Neither do I say to you by what authority I do these. But what do you think? A man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, Son, go, work today in my vineyard. And he answering said, I do not want to. But afterwards he repented and went. And having come to the second, he said similarly. And he answering said, I go, master. But he did not go. Which of the 2 did the desire of the Father? They said to him, The first. Yahushua said to them, Truly, I say to you that tax collectors and whores are entering into the reign of Elohim before you. For Yochanan came to you in the way of righteousness, and you did not believe him, but tax collectors and whores believed him. And when you saw it, you did not repent afterwards to believe him. Hear another parable. There was a certain man, a householder, who planted a vineyard and placed a hedge around it and dug a winepress in it and built a watchtower. And he leased it to farmers and went abroad. And when the season of the fruits drew near, he sent his servants to the farmers to receive its fruit. And the farmers took his servants and beat one, and they killed one, and they stoned another. Again he sent other servants more than the first, and they did likewise to them. And at last he sent his son to them, saying, They shall respect my son. But when the farmers saw this son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us possess his inheritance. And they took him and threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, when the master of the vineyard comes, what shall he do to those farmers? They said to him, Evil ones, he shall bring them to evil destruction and lease the vineyard to other farmers, who shall give to him the fruits in their seasons. Yahusha said to them, Did you never read in the scriptures, The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This was from Yahuah, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Because of this I say to you, the reign of Elohim shall be taken from you and given to a nation bringing forth the fruits of it. And he who falls on this stone shall be broken, but on whomever it falls, he shall be pulverized. And the chief Kohanim and Pharisees, having heard his parables, knew that he was speaking of them, and seeking to lay hands on him, they feared the crowds, seeing they held him to be a Nevi. Mattithyahu, Matthew chapter 22. And Yahusha responded and spoke to them again by parables, and said, The reign of the Shemaim is like a man, a sovereign, who made a wedding feast for his son, and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding feast, but they would not come. Again he sent out other servants, saying, Say to those who are invited, See, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fattened cattle are slaughtered, and all is ready. Come to the wedding feast. But they disregarded it and went their way, this one to his field, that one to his trade. And the rest, having seized his servants, insulted and killed them. But when the sovereign heard, he was wroth, and sent out his soldiers, destroyed those murderers, and lit their city on fire. Then he said to his servants, The wedding feast indeed is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore, go into the street corners, and as many as you find, invite to the wedding feast. And those servants went out into the street corners and gathered all whom they found, both wicked and good. And the wedding hall was filled with guests. And when the sovereign came in to view the guests, he saw there a man who had not put on a wedding garment, and he said to him, Friend, how did you come in here not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the sovereign said to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, take him away, and throw him out into the outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Then the Pharisees went and plotted how to trap him in his words. And they sent to him their Talmudim with the Herodians, saying, Teacher, we know that you are true and teach the way of Elohim in truth, and it does not concern you about anyone, for you are not partial to any man. Then say to us, what do you think? Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But knowing their wickedness, Yahushua said, Why do you try me, you hypocrites? Show me the coin of the tax. And they brought him a silver piece, and he said to them, Whose likeness and inscription is this? They said to him, Caesar's. And he said to them, Then give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to Elohim what is Elohim's. And having heard, they marveled and left him and went away. On that day Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moshe said that if anyone should die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise offspring for his brother. And there were with us 7 brothers, and the first died after he had married, and having no children left his wife to his brother. In the same way the second also, and the third, until the 7th. At last of all the woman died too. At the resurrection then, whose wife of the 7 shall she be? For all had her. And Yahushua answering said to them, You go astray, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Elohim. For in the resurrection they do not marry, nor are they given in marriage, but are as messengers of Elohim in the Shemayim. And concerning the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what was spoken to you by Elohim, saying, I am the Elohim of Abraham, and the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Yaakov? Yahuah is not the Elohim of the dead, but of the living. And when the crowds heard, they were astonished at his teaching. But the Pharisees, having heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, were gathered together, and one of them, one learned in the Torah, questioned, trying him, and saying, Teacher, which is the great command in the Torah? And Yahshua said to him, You shall love Yahuah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your mind. This is the first and great command, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commands hang all the Torah and the Nevi'im. And when the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahushua asked them, saying, What do you think concerning Hamashiach? Whose bane is he? They said to him, Of David. And he said to them, Then how does David in the Ruah call him Adonai, saying, Yahuah said to Adonai, Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet? If then David calls him Adonai, how is he his bane? And no one was able to answer him a word, and from that day on no one asked him any more questions.